Hello, during this professional development, teachers will learn how to select and facilitate culturally responsive read-alouds to promote equity, representation, and critical thinking. In the agenda, we're going to start with the welcome, the icebreaker, the topic, which is identifying culturally responsive read-alouds for, for students TK through 6th grade. And lastly, we will finish up with any questions and comments. One of the things in the next 40 minutes we will talk and learn about why representation in books matter. Also, we're going to learn how to quickly evaluate a book that is culturally responsive for the classroom environment. We will also practice a few strategies and discuss why they're appropriate for children and to be used in the classroom. And lastly, you will leave with a checklist for choosing books quickly that have the requirements or fulfill culturally responsive read alouds for students. Additionally, you will have the resources available at hand via the two different documents that I'm going to be handing out. One of them is going to be the checklist. The second one is going to be QR codes to 6 different read aloud websites that are accessible for all teachers for free. So the beginning, I will start with the objectives, Read-Alouds in social justice and education, how to select inclusively culturally relevant texts, and lastly, strategies for facilitating meaningful discussions. Our goal, after we finish this PD meeting, you will learn how to select and facilitate culturally responsive read-aloud books that promote representation, equity, and critical thinking for all students. Why are culturally responsive read-alouds important? What makes read-aloud culturally responsive? What makes the book culturally responsive? I have one book here. It's Eyes That Kiss in the Corners, and it's if it's respectful depiction of the culture, multiple perspectives, and so on. And this is the checklist I was talking about. So it has 6 different points on how you could quickly identify a book if it is culturally responsive for the students. Like, who is in the story? These are questions they could ask yourself. What are the stereotypes, if there's any? How can you direct them or redirect them for students? The read aloud discussions, the before, during the reading, and after the reading. What I have here is a KW chart, but you could also modify it to different grade levels depending on the grade level that you're teaching. For example, for TK, you could do what I know, talk about what the kids know. They're gonna tell you what they know, and you will write it down. And then what I wonder. So ask them questions like, "What do you wonder about this book?" And then they will tell you more or less of what they're wondering about the book. And then lastly, what I learned. After you finish and conclude the read aloud, then you ask the students, what did they learn? You jot down a couple of points, and you wrap up that lesson for the book. We are going to be working together. There's a checklist on the left-hand side of the screen, and then evaluating together. We're going to evaluate these two books that we have here. They're going to be in physical copy, so you will be able to look at them and read them together. And we're going to be in groups, so it's per grade level, and we will talk about them as a whole. Let's evaluate my eyes, myself. This is an example that I made. I like myself. That's the book. I use this with my TK students. And I asked them, like, what does the character like about her? And they would tell me what they liked about her. I filled out that KWO chart. What does she like about herself, inside and outside? So I talk about the different perspectives from inside and outside their bodies. How do they like each other? Or what do they like about themselves? And so on. A challenge. One of the challenges that you could be facing, it could be like the limited access to diverse text, but I do have a few websites where you could get everything for free. Parental concerns and teacher discomfort. It just depends on the grade level that you're doing. What can we do as educators in our classroom? There's a few things that we could do as educators to promote the different books and the different cultures in our classrooms. and reflection. What can I do to make my classroom more culturally responsive? What can you really do in the classroom without spending any money? You could read books, different songs. You could identify if they have if they're from a different culture, just promote what their culture is and so on. And if you don't know about their culture, maybe just Google a couple of things and you can find out more about your students. And also with the read alouds, I have the websites where you can find books. And lastly, this is the Read Aloud resources, TK through sixth grade and on. I have one, two, three, four, five different ones. Story Online, PBS Kids, books, Just Books, Read Alouds, Harper Collins Publishers. These are all free websites that you could access at any time as long as you have internet access. Lastly, I just want to thank you for being here. We do have a parking lot with the questions and any comments that you may have. To the right hand of the screen, all are welcome here. This is a book that I read as I began my second year teaching for TK, and I did my KWO chart and a bubble map with my students. And you can contact me at our school. I'm in room 205. And these are the two handouts that I'm passing out, the checklist that you could take with you anywhere you go and see if it is culturally responsive. Take read aloud for your students. Handout number 2, these are the different websites that you have. All you have to do is click on the title, and if you do click on the title, then you could just scan the QR code and it'll take you right into the different websites. And like I said, these are all free for everyone to see, and you could also share them with the parents. And that is it. Hopefully, by the end of this PD presentation that we'll be presenting next week on Wednesday, you will have a more clear view of how you could have culturally responsive text read alouds for your students in your classrooms. By the end of the PD next week, I will be asking teachers to commit to read one of the books, a book, or choose a book to read to their students. And in the following PD meeting, the following Wednesday, October 5th, I believe, I will be asking to share aloud what they did with their students in a KWO chart or any type of flow map. Again, my name is Rocio Resendez. This is my presentation about culturally responsive text for students TK through sixth grade. Thank you.